Streamline routines with technology. Students will understand the routines of the classroom and will often initiate them using a number of technology tools for data collection, communication, and collaboration. The transition between activities is seamless and understood by all members of the class. Now, whatever systems you set up, the key to streamlining it is that it's always going to be consistent. So, for example, this dynamic, wonderful teacher, love her website. I found it through Pinterest when I was looking for some classroom management ideas. But she has a blog and she has a lot of resources for her families. The important thing to remember is that you want to establish those routines and they're going to be the same every time. So for example, if this teacher would publish her assignments or whatever the case may be, that every parent, every student would know exactly where to go to get those resources. And the nice part about thinking about sharing things like this is it doesn't always have to be during the school day. It could be at any time that that parent or student needs that information. Now, posting your class schedule. That's one of the easiest things that we can do. We know if you're a real teacher, you know that schedule is going to change all the time. Almost every day is a different combination of whatever the case may be. But posting that schedule is really important for students to know what's coming next and to keep everything moving smoothly. Our goal is that students would understand this. In a perfect world, even if you're not in the classroom, that the schedule, the routines would be followed because this is the way that we do it in our classroom. That's what we're really hoping for. And so, well, our best hope. Now, a little bit more of a sophisticated level. This is actually at the high school level. This is an example of what parents might see as they come in through the home access center, whatever you call it. But immediately you can find out if there's been any discipline issues, attendance, schedules, and this is a communication piece that many, many schools are putting in place because parents need to know, and think how many emails this has reduced by just having the information right there. You can go in and see, hey, it was assigned on this date, you didn't do it, let's get to the bottom of what the class may be. And in this case, too, the schedule. If you need to make an appointment or something like that for son or daughter, you would have the exact information that you need. Now, over to the left, there's a lot of information here that you can actually go ahead and access anywhere you can log in. Now, in most cases, the parents have their own access and the student has their own access so that they can see exactly where they are at all times. A number of schools that I've been working with don't send home paper report cards anymore. Here it is. You've got to log in to get that information. And what they found is when they stopped the paper report cards, people finally figured out that this is really a really valuable source of information, and more people were coming in to access all the information that's here. And that's what we want, is so you know exactly where your son or daughter is at all times. This is very common, middle school, high school, and it's starting to be more common at the elementary. Now, there's no expectation that the minute you give a test that it's going to be up there within, a day or something like that. But you do want to stay somewhat on top of this in the record-keeping area. Right there, you can see exactly how many points you have, what percentage, what did you miss. And so there's a lot of really rich information that you can drill down to and not only discuss with your son or daughter what's going on, but from a teaching perspective, you can take a look across all of your students to see maybe some trends. Maybe we need to rethink some of these assignments. This was kind of a theme, the virtual backpacks. This is what many districts are calling their online sharing of information for parents and students. And in this case, they're going green, so we're not going to be putting paper into the backpacks anymore. We're going to make a virtual backpack. That's kind of what a lot of people call it. Here is another example. This is a school district in Illinois, and they are explaining why They want to take back their backpacks, which is so key to all the management of the paper and the handing this out and the flyers. Remember, that was one of my biggest nightmares in the classroom, is just trying to make sure that at the end of the day you had the soccer, the baseball, the this, and all the homework. And yikes, too many moving parts for me. In this school district, parents would know that's not going to be in the backpack. And we're going to save money, we're going to save paper, and everything is going to be right here. Somebody in the district is going to have to scan the flyer if it comes from, the youth groups, whatever, the sports groups. But what a lot of school districts are saying, please don't give us the paper handouts. Send it over to this person in the district by this date, and we'll put it into our virtual backpack. So it totally simplifies it, takes the classroom teacher completely out of it, and the parents know exactly where everything is. And I think, this is what we need. Streamline everything we can. Now we're shifting a little bit over to Google Forms. And we have an entire lesson just on how to create a form. But we want to talk about this to keep track of routines. Okay, you know the form we're going to fill out for this. So everything, it just becomes more of a routine. This one happens to be a discipline report, accountability. I like that. And then you could just go ahead and quickly, once the form is made, the whole building can use the same form to report whatever information that you need. At the top, I'm staying true to my word, not reinventing the wheel. This was already built. I just went into Google Drive and I went to the templates. Now we have to remember to reward positive behavior also. And this again is a template. And I left it across the top where you can go ahead and go get the template. Then you can go ahead and customize it. So let's say you wanted first and last name in 2 different categories so you could sort. You can add to it. So this is just kind of the bones, and then you can make it your own. This one, I love that. Look at the wow moment down there. And think about it. All those times that you think you're going to remember, what that student did. If you had a form like this where you could quick organize it, you could have everything literally at your fingertips at any point. So really helps in that whole streamlining issue. And this is another form that I found very helpful. Now remember, if you haven't covered the Google form yet, you have to remember that every time somebody hits submit on the bottom of a form, the data is automatically added to the spreadsheet. Now that spreadsheet was made when you made the form, or when the person that made the template, when they made that. So a form is the pretty side that everybody sees, but the data always ends up on a spreadsheet. And if you, depending who you share that spreadsheet with, you can have the information instantly, right at everybody's fingertips. So, for example, you can even set up a way to monitor this. That anytime something's added to this, using this form added to the spreadsheet, somebody in the dean's office could be notified. So there's lots of ways that we can streamline, especially when we're getting to discipline. Some of our systems are just, here's the piece of paper, send this to the counselor's office. Let's think about it in new ways that we're using the technology that we have. That form might be on your phone. It might be on an iPad. You can just click, and you can capture the important information. So anywhere that you can connect to the internet on any device, you can go ahead and use these forms to capture information that is important for you. So we want to streamline anything that we can with technology. So my biggest thing is, as a department, grade level, maybe a whole building, think about what are some of the things we do now, and just break those down to say, okay, is there any way that we can get kids in buses more efficiently? Whatever the case may be, we just have to rethink how we can use some of these technology resources. Thanks.